Has the nation ever been successful in constructing a moon-based space station that is nearly the size of a whole city? China is building its own space station to use as a base on the moon. But what exactly would this lunar base do? China always devotes time and effort to productive endeavors. The world's energy issue will be resolved by China's lunar base plan. Let's investigate how. Hello, and welcome to another fantastic video on our channel. China's innovation tales, initiatives, and expanding impact throughout the world are brought to you by Innovation Diary. You will find our films fascinating if you are new to the channel and appreciate learning about modernity in general, specifically China's progress and rising strength. We will talk about China's intentions to build a lunar base in space in this video. We'll also observe how this lunar outpost will permanently put a stop to the energy issue. Let's get going. Discussing space. NASA is the first guy that springs to mind. It includes several nations and does outstanding research. For other countries, there is a difficulty though. What would a nation do if NASA refused to let it join? China's presence in NASA poses a threat to other countries, notably the United States. Why is that? China will be eliminated from the space competition if the United States enters NASA because it understands how fast China is making progress. Therefore, the United States placed a boycott on China without realizing that it was benefiting China. It was not viewed as an insult in China. China used this rejection as inspiration to create a space station on its own that is superior to the one that several nations built jointly. The fact that China is entering space on its own is therefore intriguing. However, China seldom discloses its plans to the outside world before making them public, which makes them frequently startling. And this time, China made the decision to surprise everyone, not just NASA, but also the United States. China intends to build a lunar space station that will be larger than an entire city. You did hear correctly. Concerns about China's strategy are numerous. However, let's first analyze the project as a whole before we talk about the concerts. So let's examine China's space activities and its spaceflight history. The space industry in China is not new. In the 1950s, China began producing spacecraft, although it wasn't done so to gain an advantage. They were developing defense systems instead. China did not want to feel left behind when everyone was creating spaceships. But China started to grow in power a few decades ago. The previous apprehensions vanished, and China started taking their spacecraft seriously. However, nobody paid it any mind. China sent a space station into orbit named the Tiangong-1 up till 2011. China became the third country to set foot on the moon in 2013 after sending their first rover there. China launched Tiangong-2 in 2017, which is a second space station. Everyone, notably the US, was not yet alarmed since China was reaching all the milestones that no one had ever predicted it would. Tell us, are you enjoying the video before we go any further? If so, kindly hit the like button, spread the word, and subscribe to our channel to see more content on China's rise to power and global impact. Let's go on now. Obama claimed that he was not interested in traveling to the moon because the United States had previously been there under his administration while the country was preoccupied with other issues. The Space Shuttle program failed, and the United States lost the capacity to autonomously land on the moon. China dispatched another mission to the moon in the interim, and for the first time, a nation learned about the moon's dark aspects. Later, China deployed a satellite that was superior to the one the United States had launched. Compared to GPS, China's satellites are more accurate. China flew 39 payload delivery missions in 2020, and in 2021 it sent the Tiangong space station's core module into orbit. There was no prototype for this space station. It was actually the brand new permanent space station. The moon base, which would be the size of a metropolis, will have this space station as a component. China will have a full moon base in space in 2028 when this project is finished in 6 years. This space station is heading in the direction of a mission that has never been contemplated. China has just dispatched a rover to Mars and is capable of sending rovers to the moon. However, China made the world aware of these facts. There are surely still some things that aren't clear. Assuming China is capable of sending a rover into orbit around the Earth, some of the specialists believe that many of the gadgets might possibly be sent. Nobody has a clue how China plans to build a space base on the moon, but they're determined to do it nonetheless. Even if it is very difficult to anticipate China's objectives, we have to ask, why are they building this space base? Establishing a space base on the Moon in order to mine helium-3 is the fundamental argument for doing so. Helium-3 is a kind of nuclear fuel that has the possibility of being employed in fusion-based reactors in the future. On Earth, helium-3 is extremely hard to come by, yet it can be found in plenty on the Moon. China asserts ownership of the helium-3. Mining is the key to solving the problem of insufficient energy supply facing the planet. This will be adequate to satisfy the requirements set forth by China. China is the first country in the world to put new prospective energy sources to use after their rapid appearance. Following this announcement, the United States felt pressure to make use of the Moon. Now that they have something to lose, they are eager to establish a foothold on the Moon as soon as they can. However, China has once again surpassed the United States in this regard. What kind of an impact does China's lunar colony now have? The rest of the world was under the impression that China was spending its time on the Moon, but China managed to surprise everyone by publishing this. Despite the fact that China was the second nation to set foot on the Moon after the United States, the Chinese have made discoveries that the United States has not. The mining of helium-3 in China is a step in the right direction toward a more prosperous future. So, what lies in store for us? In the universe, China. China does not give up easily. It has publicly stated its intention to extract helium-3 from the Moon. The United States of America is concerned because there are currently ongoing research initiatives that the general public needs to be informed of. In light of this, what actions does the United States intend to take? Will America attempt to compete? The United States of America should have gotten into the game when it was time to participate. After being elected president, Trump placed a greater priority on fostering the nation's aerospace industry. In addition, the United States developed the Space Force. The uniforms of the Space Force will reflect the most recent trends in space fashion and will be designed to wow. However, he chose to ignore the progress that had been made. The United States of America is progressing at a glacial pace. In addition, the International Space Station has to have a backup system installed due to the fact that it is getting on in years. As a result, China will rule space until other countries develop space stations that are more advanced. Without a doubt, the United States of America regrets underestimating China. Do you feel that the United States of America will be able to get back on its feet? Will China be the only country with a robust space industry, or who knows what the future holds? This partnership between China and Russia, which provides backing for China's space goals, is despised by the United States of America. Do you believe that the American space industry will one day be able to generate energy from a moon based in the same manner that China is now striving to do? Share your opinion in comments. Also, click on this video to watch about another shocking project.